WWE expect more AEW talent to jump ship. Plus, future plans for an international AEW event have been revealed. And we have an update on some SmackDown backstage heat. It's all at the Cultaholic Wrestling News right now. Bit more on the Mariah May situation coming up. May coming to the end of her contract at the end of the summer with AEW, and lots of conversations about her heading to WWE. But a comment from WWE President Nick Khan suggests that she might not be the only one soon.
She may not be the only one. See what I did there? Well, speaking on the Bill Simmons podcast about AEW, Nick Khan says, in terms of the other wrestling promotional company, they have a lot of talented wrestlers, and we're happy about that. When contractually they are available to talk to and have conversations with, assume a number of them will come over. Nothing but respect to the father who finances it and owns the Jaguars and all those other things. This feels very 90s to me, just from what I envisioned what the Monday Night Wars were, because of course I was just a wee baby. I didn't know it at the time. This feels very much like them going, hey, we're going to see a lot of talents jumping ship and moving across between the promotions. Maybe do a Rick Rude appear on the same different companies in one night. It's an exciting time though when you see a wrestler jump between promotions, and maybe Mariah May, which we'll get onto soon. I want to see more talents go back and forth and really go and do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Explore what your character can be across different companies.
Because there's going to be some talent that are better suited for what WWE has to offer and how they do their business. And there's going to be talent that are better suited for AEW's business. I think Will Ospreay made the right decision in doing stuff with AEW. I think that Ricky Saints is making the right decision to do stuff in WWE.
And same with Ricochet. Ricochet is the one that actually comes to my mind immediately when you think of talents jumping ships to really benefit them, because Ricochet was stuck in that sort of perpetual mid-card, whereas now in AEW he is one of the highlights of the weekly show and really understands his character and has evolved to be more than just a mid-card high-flying act, which is great to see. In terms of talents jumping back over to WWE though, Nick Khan does sound very confident that he will be bringing more talents over from AEW. We've already seen stuff like Penta, we've seen Rey Fenix, we've seen potentially Rusev, potentially Malachi Black.
Cody Rhodes,
obviously the big name there, Jay Cargill as well.
Jay Cargill.
At some point though, you've got to go WWE, and we've said it before about AEW, but come on WWE, you've got a bloated roster. Focus on the talent you've got.
Yeah, they will. And also, who's jumping to TNA? That's what I want to know.
Exactly.
Why am I the only one asking? Who's jumping to TNA?
Come on, we need a Christian Cage going to TNA.
That's what we need.
Back in day.
We need some gossip on somebody jumping to TNA.
We do.
We need somebody under the surface who knows what's going on. Maybe, top secret stuff about people moving over to TNA.
If you're that person, let us know.
If you have any conversation, if you know anything about people jumping to TNA, slide into my DMs.
Yeah, let us know.
Ready to hear it. Meanwhile, let's talk about Mariah May. So Mariah May, as reported yesterday, according to the Wrestling Observer, a dream job would be to work with WWE, and it's something that WWE very much could be in her future, as reported by the Observer. WWE bound at the end of her contract is Mariah May. Fightful Select reports that May is currently maximizing leverage and negotiating power to get the best deal possible, and AEW, of course, absolutely hopes to retain her during these contract talks.
It is just smart business. Let's face it, if the backstage perception is that May is just maximizing her leverage and negotiating power, why wouldn't you? If you're such a sought-after talent, such as Mariah May, who's had such a meteoric rise in the American wrestling scene, coming in, 18 months ago now into AEW and going straight to the top of the card, having an incredible story arc, potentially one of the strongest storylines in wrestling in general over the past few years, why wouldn't she try and maximize, hey, both companies, you want me. WWE, sure, it's my dream to be there, but AEW, you could retain me. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's totally that. Now, there have been some reports that say that Mariah May is as good as in WWE. There was some conversation about Mariah May being listed internally at WWE, which Fightful says is misinformation. Many citing Jeff Cobb as a recent example of somebody being on a list of incoming talent while on an internal list, which according to reports from Fightful and other places is the case. However, Cobb has been working in New Japan without a contract, so he can jump on said list. Yeah. Mariah May is very much under contract to AEW. There are laws against this kind of thing.
We don't want some contract tampering. We don't need that conversation.
No, there is certainly nothing that we've heard which suggests that she is on any internal lists. But again, there are several months before these big decisions need to be made. And what Mariah May does next, I'm very intrigued to see.
Yeah, either way, it's exciting. She's one of the best aspects of AEW right now, prior to obviously her time off following AEW Revolution. We've not seen her since then. But as I said, it's one of the best story arcs AEW's ever done.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
It's one of the best.
Should have main evented, I'm just saying.
He should have.
AEW has some big international plans in the forthcoming months as well.
They do indeed. This is fresh off the presses. AEW announcing that they are heading to Mexico for AEW Grand Slam Mexico. It is going to be taking place in the legendary Arena Mexico, which is an incredible venue for any wrestling. CMLL usually runs it there. It's such a big historic building that it's pretty cool to see AEW get to run it in partnership with CMLL down there. I'm excited to see what they do for these shows. The Grand Slam shows have been pretty great. The Australia one, despite the time difference, was a very solid show, even if we knew some of the results because of spoilers. I'm excited to see what they can do. I hope it's live and there's no issue with, obviously, no time difference there, but like, they can broadcast it live as a weekly episode.
Yeah, hopefully there won't be too much of a time difference. Now, in terms of who we'll see on that show, obviously a lot of storyline weeks to go, but the poster itself that was shared by AEW after Lucha Blog broke the news features Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, who's in prime position to win the Owen and challenge it all in, which makes sense that he's on the poster. You got Mystico on there, Commander on there, Mascara Dorada, and holograms on there.
Cool to get a hologram on there, getting that the sort of AEW mix, the luchador that they've built up from the ground on the poster. It's a win to have him featured in there.
As AEW plans to head to Arena Mexico, WWE inviting you to meet them in St. Louis because the Backlash poster dropped yesterday and they're going to be in St. Louis, Missouri on Saturday, May the 10th. St. Louis, of course, the home of Randall Keith. Randall Keith. That's why he's on the poster all covered in snakes.
It is why he's on the poster. Now, as the immediate thought that comes to my mind is, well, he's going to be facing someone big and it better be for 10-year-old me, it better be John Cena and Randy Orton. It gave me flashbacks to the poster for Backlash from, I want to say 2009, where it's Randy Orton on the poster as well. Just give me Randy Orton versus John Cena one more time on this retirement tour, possibly for the WWE Championship.
I love that I am old enough and ugly enough to have lived through times in wrestling where we went, oh God, Orton and Cena again! And now I'm at the point where I'm going, oh yeah, Orton and Cena again!
Orton and Cena, give me that. It will be slow. There's going to be a lot of rest holds. But just it's the nostalgia. It's member berries. It's what we want.
It's going to be
so
many member berries dangling on that one. It's going to be like you know how every so often when they talk about like a clash of two very similar people and that clip of Danielson and Omega gets shared, where it's like the bell rings and everyone cheers.
Everyone's on their feet.
Start of Orton Cena at Backlash.
The first headlock, the whole place erupts.
The first and the last headlock in that particular match. On SmackDown, though, away from storyline heat, let's talk some backstage heat. Before Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton stole the show, there was some little conflabs on the blue brand with Drew McIntyre and LA Knight.
Yeah, that was coming out of the Royal Rumble at the start of the year. Drew had said something about how someone was getting their stuff in and he'd stormed out of the building. Well, LA Knight, speaking on Gorilla Position this past week, has commented on that exact situation, and he said he had to leave because the show was over. At some point, everybody has to go home. He's not wrong.
Not me, I don't. I just
he stormed out. I didn't even know. No idea. I got to the back. I got to the monitor. I saw the rest of the deal. He was already back there before I was. His ass got tossed already. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it until I was sitting at home Sunday night and somebody sent me an article. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I can't tell you the inner workings here, but there were some conversations had. On the SmackDowns following Rumble, we did have Drew and LA Knight make some subtle references to this. I say subtle with that inflection there. It wasn't that subtle. There was a little bit of a reference to it. I'm glad we've moved past it. And it's just very interesting to hear LA Knight's side to it.
Yeah, I think, very much so. And we have very much moved past it. But all being well, all pals at the palace now, I think.
Hopefully.
You hope so.
You hope so. But also at the same time,
it's a nice bit, something you can build on if you want to.
A little bit of spice. A little bit of spice, as Ross would say.
Could be a nice little something you could have post-WrestleMania. Maybe you can pick that bad boy up.
Yeah, for
again.
sure. Absolutely. Both of them are positioned high up that card. And what's Drew going to do post-WrestleMania?
Well,
maybe it is LA Knight.
We've got to worry about the pre-WrestleMania before we do anything else. 9 pitches for WrestleMania on this channel later on today. Predictions for WrestleMania on the channel tomorrow. And live reactions to night 1 and night 2 at youtube.com/cultaholic/live. You can check out the WTF moments with Ross on the Patreon. And the What Happened At with Jack on our channel too. But before all of that, get into the mood with WrestleMania matches, moments, magic.
Absolutely. Check it out on the YouTube right now. We spoke to so many different people about this. It is a 48-minute look, a whole TV hour's worth of historical goodness about WrestleMania and what it means to people.
It's a cracking watch. Do check it out. Well done to you, sir, and the team. Jack Atkins and Pierce.
Smashed it.
And a whole litany of names from around the wrestling stratosphere waiting to have a chat all about WrestleMania. And you can watch that on the channel right now. And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.